put in chat your most recent work-related goof. I thought it was pretty good because I done confused the heck out of most of all of you the last time we had Kip and Kristi here. So needing a little company on the goof stuff. Plus I kind of, Crystal was there when I goofed up about the VPN. I feel like it's been just a total month of crazy. So let's share the wealth. I want to hear your most recent work-related oops. If for those of you who are brave, I feel like every week I'm a little brave and I share with you all of my calamities. Okay. Scheduled a meeting that I wasn't supposed to schedule. Someone else was doing it. Don't you love that when you was like, oh, that's the same thing. No worries. And I think that scheduling meetings just in general is super hard. I once scheduled a meeting a month ahead and was like, oh, whoops. I was supposed to schedule that for February, but I put it in March. But I feel like I get a pass on that one because March and February, typically like the days align. So there's only 48 days in February. Any other fun moments? Chatted the wrong person and about the person who ended up getting it. Oh no, yeah, that'll do it. We're like, oh, wires got crossed there. Glad it was a good chat. Scheduled my first class of the semester on Zoom. Oh no, yeah. Yep, that was a holiday. Definitely a holiday. I remember that was Sean. He's like, we're gonna go over our HR monthly report on Monday. I'm like, no, we're not. I'm not going to do that on Monday. He's like, well, why not? I'm like, because I'm not going to work and you shouldn't either. All right, setting up meetings and forgetting to send up the Zoom links. Okay, that's like my very least favorite thing to do is put the Zoom link in things. So for the longest time with this meeting, I'd like populate it beforehand until I realized this reoccurring Zoom, I can just put in every link. Game changer. Game changer. Yes. I feel like that's like the new forgetting to schedule a conference room. Though I do have to say, try not having to find a conference room is kind of amazing. Anybody else feeling that? Setting up the button on my calendar. Setting up the button on your calendar. There's a button you can put on your calendar, Stephanie?
You can work with OIT to have your calendar have, you know how where you can see Google Meet?
Yeah.
Set up Google Meet. You can have set up Zoom.
Ooh. Let me get
wonderful. It's so easy. You just push the button.
Who wants a tutorial of that? Yes. Raise your hand if you would like a tutorial of that, and I will find someone in OIT to provide that tutorial. Ooh, learn new things every day. See, this is why I bug y'all for stuff like this, because we end up with some of the best information sharing, even if it's just like little life hacks. Which, thank you for that, Stephanie. Let's see if Michael Ellis knows, since he's kind of my go-to with all things like that. Okay, it's a few minutes. Ooh, Anna throwing a support link in the chat. Gosh, I am blessed with some of the best colleagues in the world. You know that, guys? What would I do without you? Okay, so it is just past 11. We have quite a few people here who are wanting to get some HR updates and to talk with risk management about our office equipment tracking part 2, the real one. Ignore all that we said before. If you have not been to our HR Fireside chat, my name is Casey Park. I work in HR and I run the communications. This is our standing date with campus. Every Tuesday, we get together with this lovely community, and it's an open invitation to have you guys come and talk to us about anything that you need. And every week, I try to bring a guest speaker or a topic so you can be informed on something that's going on with campus. And this week, like I said, we have the amazing folks from Risk Management and Joey Martinez, who built this fantastic form to help with office equipment tracking. And we now have a service to bring to you. But first, we have a couple HR updates because I have a captive audience. Try to hit these first. First, from the growth team, performance evaluations are coming up in March, which also means as soon as we get links from the DHR, we'll be having cybersecurity training. Yay! Says everybody with ultimate sarcasm, but it's super necessary because those phishing emails are getting even trickier and trickier. I almost fell for one the other day until I was like, wait, hold on, don't click the buttons. Can be smart. Especially those who get stung and have to do it between the annual dates. I know, Stephanie, right? Oh, that's the worst. When you're like, oh, just like, it's hardest on your phone. So if you check your email on your phone, the know before training thing is not as visible. But that's also where a lot of us are checking our email is on our phone. So if we're going to get an actual phishing email, it looks more legit in your phone. So be careful about that. And the cybersecurity training will be coming up. And if we get CEC, everybody cross their fingers and toes and just like, let's put all the good energy out in the world. CEC is tied to doing your performance evaluations and doing your cybersecurity. So that's coming up in March. And as soon as we get more guidance on CEC, those communications along with a snapshot date will be made available. I'll be working with the amazing Kevin Ross from our compensation department to put those together. So that's from Growth Team. Also from Growth Team, if you are not, if you have not already attended one of their empathy and evaluation trainings, get in contact with Abel or Kyle and they can get you set up. If you do not have time to attend, I'm pulling the link right now. You can check out the website. There is a empathy and evaluations video right there on that page. It is about an hour long, but amazing content. They did a fantastic job, and I think they still have a couple more sessions. Am I correct, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, you are correct. We just got done with our training this morning. We literally at 11. So College of Arts and Science has been trained. So they are good.
Woo-hoo.
And we have 3 more sessions. So please let us know if you need us to move you to a different session before. We're trying to wrap these up by the end of this month. So you have the full month of February to have those conversations, give you plenty of time. But we do have those videos recorded, so you can also go back and watch them. So happy to help any way we can.
Thanks so much, Abel. Also, he had no clue that I was going to call on him. So woot for thinking on your feet.
And also, Casey, I have an update.
Yes.
I sent out the performance evaluation list to all the business managers this morning. So that's in the works as well, so people can get a head start on them.
You are wonderful. Thank you, Tiffany. So we've got the growth team looking out for you guys on performance evaluations. And remember, our theme is empathy, because 2020 was weird, y'all. 2021 is like, we got some residual weird clinging on to her, but hopefully by March, she'll sit still, put her hands in her lap, and we can just continue on into the future. Okay, and I think, Crystal, were you going to be able to talk about W-2s? I know in my personal email, I got an update from ADP that my W-2 is available because I've consented to electronic mailing.
That's correct. The W-2s are available through ADP. If you're registered on ADP already, then you should have received an email from ADP, I believe on Saturday, that they're available and you can go out and retrieve them. And then the employees that are not registered yet, there will be an email that goes out later today, giving them instructions on how to go out and retrieve theirs. They won't get an email from ADP because they're not registered. And then if anybody is not aware, the IRS is not accepting your tax information until mid-February now. There is a delay on filing as well. So.
Neat. Like I said, residual fund from 2020, right? Stephanie had the question, do you have to register every year?
No, once you've registered, your information is still out there, so you should be able to just log in. If you forget your password, there's that function for you to retrieve your password.
Thank you. Marianne says the ADP email looks spammy. Yes, it does. That's them, not us. Sorry about that. And yeah, check your spam filters in case you did mark it as spam. If it is coming from ADP or us, it's legit. If you have questions, you can always email something to OIT. Like just forward it to help desk and they can tell you whether or not something is legit. No, we did not send out a direct email. That got tied up in the pipeline. We will be able to do that. I think there's going to be an email coming out today, hopefully. And if you don't know what email you registered it to, I think that there's some FAQs on.
It should be your Boise State email address.
Yeah. We'll have to look into that for you guys. Stay tuned for next week. Good thing you can't even file until February, right? What a weird time to be alive. So like Crystal said, the W-2s are available regardless. If you got an email, you can go to the website. I believe we have a link up on our website. I'll find it here in a second. W-2s and W-4s.
The paper W-2s will not be mailed out by Boise State University. ADP is also mailing those, and they're scheduled to mail out at the end of January.
As always, a wealth of knowledge from Crystal. I don't know what I'd do without you, lady. Any other questions for HR related folks? Ooh, except I just skipped ahead. Mr. Jordy, would you like to give an update on how your DRC meeting went last week and what's coming up in February?
Yes, DRC meeting, the Department Recruitment Coordinator meetings. We had our first monthly meeting in a planned series of several month-to-month meetings with the folks in all over campus, people in colleges and departments who coordinate the hiring process, who work with PageUp, who are kind of the go-to center of the spider web in their areas for coordinating all the HR and hiring process steps. We had that meeting last Thursday afternoon. It went great. We had, I think I saw the attendance number. I think it got up to somewhere in the 80s. And then it can kind of go up and down depending on what time of the meeting, but had good attendance. We went through 3 or 4 different procedures in PageUp, step by step, introduced where our job aids were. People had some really good questions. We got some good answers to them quickly, like right on the spot. Have a couple that we followed up with after the meeting, and overall had some really good feedback. People felt like it was relevant and good use of it was relevant and a good use of their time, which was one of our goals. So yeah, overall from what we saw on our end, it seemed like a pretty positive experience. Of course, we're going to make improvements where we can. It's always one of the goals. So, yeah. So overall, it was a positive experience. Had a couple minor, not complaints, but just some suggestions that we've taken into account and made some changes. So, yeah. So that's it. I thought it was good.
It was actually super fun. Thanks for everybody who came out, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys in February. Okay, now that HR has sped through as many updates as we could cram into 15 minutes, actually it was 10 minutes because we started like 5 minutes in. I'm going to give the floor over to Kip and Kristi, and then even Joey, and we've got a little something for you guys.
Thanks, Casey. Good morning, everyone. We've kind of come full circle. Just want to give you an update about the property checkout procedure that's been going on for the last 12 months or so. We've decided that, first of all, if you're already tracking your inland marine property in your department, great, keep it up. If you already have a procedure for checking out property office equipment to employees that work remotely, great, keep it up. That's fine. What we've decided to do though is Joey Martinez, along with Casey, have helped to create a form for the checkout process. And if you have not established that process in your department, then Joey, with the work he's done on this form, you can certainly reach out to him and he will assist you with starting up that checkout procedure.
Yeah. So one of the feedbacks we got were some people were like, wait, we already do this. Are we doing this again? And we were like, oh, you already do this. Huh.
Exactly.
Well, good for you. Maybe we don't need to track this by the whole university. So what we're going to ask is, as business managers, if you're responsible for that within your department, keep on keeping on. If you want to process improve, these people are here to help. And Joey's form is really great. Not only does it have a dynamic view that you can go in and see what's checked out to who for how long, but you can also check back in that it's been returned. So there's no confusion. But if you have a system that works for you and yours, we don't want to mess with a good thing. Joey, do you want to throw your email in chat? And Kristi, can you either throw the page where that lives in chat? Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you where the form is, and I'm going to let Kristi talk.
Okay, so there's two main pages. So that first link, so we just made it redundant so everybody could find it more easily. So if you go to the home page under our services, it's about the 5th bullet down, there is equipment tracking, and you just click on the here link. That's going to route you over to also our insurance coverage, which is the other link that I put in there. And it is off to the right. And it says in this section, equipment tracking. It's very small, but once you click in there, it is the same information. And it basically just describes what the periods of time are for tracking inventory. You put the smart sheet form that Joey created, and then there is an explanation if you need to use dynamic view to pull that information back on what your employees have put in there, or if you let me see. And then if you do need any further information, me and Kip can always set up a meeting with you. And that's more in regards to inland marine coverage and what that is. There's also a link in that same equipment tracking that it's for our property damage loss report. So in the event that there is some kind of damage to a laptop or a camera or anything of that.
I think I broke my computer. Too many links. It's very unhappy. So
I can share my screen as well and kind of show what the dynamic view looks like. You probably won't have anything in yours unless someone's checked anything out under your name. So
Give me
And
just
it's
a
running very
second,
slow
Joey.
this morning.
Oh,
So
you're good. So this was the page that equipment tracking that Kristi was talking about. You can find it on the risk management and insurance page. That second to last bullet, equipment tracking, explained here. Wow, no, wrong, Mac. Don't try to give me a dictionary. Okay, and then we have the Smartsheet form is here, and dynamic view. We're gonna get a preview from Joey. I made you co-host. You can go ahead and share your screen, and it'll steal mine.
all right.
Joey, can you also explain what dynamic view is, what it's used for?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not letting me.
Give me a second to stop share. I did make you co-host.
All right. So in the form it asks, and you can see this over here, right? Just want to make sure. Can you guys see the Smartsheet dynamic view screen?
Yes.
Perfect.
All right, cool. So this would be, and there's an area that asks for an inventory manager and who wants to view that. So if you had 20 people that had checked things out, it automatically links to whoever is in that email. So I put myself in the email so you could see how it would look. And right here, this would normally not be clicked. I shouldn't have done that. It's running really slow today. I apologize. So it looks like this when you first get to it. And then you can click on it and it'll pull up the details. And yeah, it's running super slow. I apologize today. But then
to Tuesday, we'll give it a minute. It hasn't had its coffee.
yeah, Smartsheets, they like to run some updates and stuff. And it runs really slow when they do that. But so from here, you'd be able to click on, it gives you a drop down of just the things that you'd be able to edit, which is the equipment they've returned, as well as it has a checkbox here. I added that. So say I took my keyboard home and I brought it back, and then you'd click complete and it's done. I found that you cannot just have this line go away after it has been clicked as completed, but there are filters you can make. And here's one I made of just saying when this box is checked to stop or no longer show it anymore. And it was, yeah, pretty easy. Just when return completed is not checked, show it. Otherwise, show it. And then you don't have to sort through a bunch of old completed checkouts. But this would be the dynamic view that would be used for managing the inventory, and it would show anyone's things that they had, as well as in the background it does have serial numbers if they needed to input those.
Perfect. Thanks, Joey. Yeah, the form's pretty easy to fill out from a user experience for sure. But again, we didn't realize how many of y'all were like on it and already had your own system. So not wanting to mess with a good thing, if what works for your department works for your department, keep on keeping on. If this looks like something that you are interested in, please get in touch with Joey and the risk management folks, and we want to be here to help you guys. We decided that 2021 is not the time in which we want to centralize this process, because it's a scary time still, so hanging on to residual 2020 weirdness. Any questions? Oh, shoot. I know you answered this in chat, Kristi, but Maria had asked with regards to inland and marine information, can departments request what is on file? And Kristi answered yes. You can put that request in with rmi@boisestate.edu. If you didn't see that in chat, rmi@boisestate.edu for the expert stuff on our insurance. Go ahead, Joey. I stepped on your line.
I forgot what I was going to say. It wasn't important, I don't think.
Just to emphasize, this tool is also for long-term use and for all use, including students. We have tons of departments that are loaning out equipment not related to COVID at all. So we intended this to be as a tool for beyond that whenever it ends. And again, on the request for whatever items your department has changed, I just want to let you know that we changed the process a little bit because Idaho State Risk has a reporting platform where we used to enter those items. We get thousands and thousands of items each year. We are only down to 2 people. We don't really have the manpower to maintain that. So when I pull those lists, they will be coming from an older database. And what we have now done is started reporting internally on an Excel spreadsheet. So it might take me some time. The names of the departments have changed. So we've moved to, instead of department names, using department ID codes, because I was more consistent and aligned with HR's approach. So that's all.
I remembered what I was going to say. So when something is checked out, and if you get an email, it will say in the email, here is where you need to go for a dynamic view, and it has other information that's listed in there to take you exactly where you need to go. It used to say, grant access to the sheet, which was not the correct thing because it would just take you to the back end data. So this actually tells you to go to the dynamic view where it allows you to edit the fields that need to be edited and returned when the whatever equipment is returned.
Thanks, Joey. So Stacy is asking about entering employee student home addresses and address field. I think that would be something that you guys would decide is part of your process, how those fields would be used. And that's something that Joey can help you set up if you're looking to use this form as a way to track your office equipment coming and going. So in a roundabout way, make a meeting with Joey and ask him how you can use his form, because I don't know. Right. I have the lovely Michelle Gordon who does all of our office equipment tracking in HR. I'll have to touch that.
I would just add, the bottom line is we just want to we just need name of employee and the equipment that they're checking out. And so that when that property comes back to campus, we can be assured that it has returned to campus. Address, I don't think is a need to know. Might be a nice to know, but that's the important part, is just keeping track of what's being checked out.
So I think she's highlighting more students who are taking things out into the field, Kip.
Yeah, and that would have to be something that you define in your own processes.
And that might be, and you might already have a process. So this is just a supplemental one if needed.
Exactly. Or if you want to process improve, which, Boise State innovation, process improvement, everybody from OCI said, yay! Right, Marianne? Okay. Do we have any questions for, hopefully this was a way less confusing rundown of what office equipment tracking can be. Zoom pause here. Any questions? Okay, so if we don't have any questions for our risk management or for Joey, you guys have their information and you have links in the chat. I'll be sending all of that in the recap email. As always, I have most of my HR department, or at least somebody from every single area, if you have any HR related questions. And if you don't have anything for us, we're going to give you the gift of time. Next week, I'm going to be going through some more productivity tips and tricks for everybody, because we're settling into getting back into work after the holiday break, and just be nice to get a refresher on some ways to keep your productivity up, keep your spirits up, and everything else. We'll be joined in, let me pull up my calendar, make sure I get these dates right. Oh my gosh, maybe. We'll be joined on February 2nd by PSA. And then on the 9th, we get to be joined by Jerry Mizrahi. She's going to be debuting the HR Career Services, a fun little project that we've been working on. And then I'll get you some more as we get into February and March. I'm going to be pulling Mark Heil back in for a budget update and a conversation with us about where we are, just waiting for us to get past our 10-day numbers. Also for like some legislative stuff to calm down, so he has some time on his calendar for us. But if you guys have a request to have somebody come join us, please feel free to send me an email. I would love to pull something together. I know, Christine, you have a question. What do you got for us?
Okay, we have a brand new student on the shuttles today, and they happen to be blind. And this was a new issue we haven't had to deal with before, in that normally their first few days of school, there's someone with them showing them how to get around. And there was no one with this student. So I was wondering, and so my driver got out to show the student where the brand new Micron building is. That's where one of their classes are. And I was wondering who, because the student's going to come back onto the shuttle, what phone number do I give the students so that they can find their helper?
Perfect. Stephanie just threw in chat, contact the Educational Access Center, and they should be able to assign a representative. Stephanie, you are a wealth of knowledge, by the way.
Thank you.
Do you got that? Do you have that number, Christine?
Writing it down.
Perfect.
Access Center, got it.
Can I just say thank you, everyone, for helping everyone on this call. Y'all are like amazing. And please welcome that new student to Boise State.
Yes, we were excited to see them. So,
yay. Okay, we did have a question in chat, and I'm so sorry. My dog has a new squeaky toy, so if you hear that in the background, it's annoying me just as much as it's annoying you. But without it, he barks. So squeaky, bark. We'll take the squeaky. Michael, excellent question. Heard that someone at the university, they were scheduling their vaccine, and I didn't think we were eligible yet. Are we? So I have heard that we are not eligible, like in the education realm, that's K through 12. That's really like kind of the focus, but as far as having the vaccine on campus, I have an email into Maureen that when we have guidance on if there is going to be a vaccine on campus and how you can go about getting it, she will come and talk about that. I haven't heard back from her, so my guess is we're still waiting for information. I know personally, some people have pre-existing conditions that put them further into the list. So my mom's a paraplegic. She gets her shot next week. Yes, because this has been terrifying for me. COVID would significantly impact her existence. And so I'm just so grateful that there's a vaccine and that she's like towards the top of the list getting that. So if you have questions about if you are eligible, I don't know who you can contact, but let me find out, Michael. And I can put that in the recap email for you, or reach out to you directly if it takes me past this week to find out. Does that work? Or if anybody on this call knows, please feel free to throw something in chat.
well, I was able to find out that 2.3, 2.2, so our transit drivers are all eligible right now for the shots. Most of our public safety officers are eligible right now for the shots. It kind of depends on what you do right now versus and yeah, you were correct. I didn't see professors or anything on the list quite yet.
Yeah, professors are
other overall faculty of a college.
So Michael, if I can, I'll bump productivity tips to February. And if I can bring somebody to talk next week about the vaccine, that's what I'll do. If I can't, then it'll be sometime in February. We'll get an update on that. Does that work for everybody on this call? I'm getting some nods, some smiles. I just want to make sure that everybody is informed on what can keep you safe and keep you going. And those are great questions. Thanks for bringing those to my attention. Okay, so I got one last thing in a chat that sometimes there's a problem with the duo verification. Remember how we had Michael Ellis come in and talk, and now we have to go in through the VPN, which means that you need to duo authenticate and verify who you are. And there's a way to have it send a message to your phone. If it's not coming to you, it could be because it's going to your old phone. What a weird thing. But Michael Ellis, who is a wonderful human being, as I've said before, will be able to work with you and figure out that problem and get you set up. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. More weird stuff. And we've got one more question, and this one's for Kip and Kristi. What can you say about the employee, student being held liable for damage for Boise State equipment or failure to return equipment? Do we need to be giving people a heads up in this regards, or is it applicable? Joey, correct me if I'm wrong. The form, at the very last thing that you click is that you assume liability for not returning the equipment, or was that something we took out of the form?
No, it is in it. So with Kippy, let me know that it's different between students and employees. So if you click on employment type, and if it says student, then it pops up with a different acknowledgement message at the end, and it goes over some of those liabilities for damage.
Right. That was something that we discussed last week. So there's a distinction to make between employees and students who check out property. Employees who check out university property, if the laptop, for example, is lost, stolen, or damaged, it's covered through the university's property insurance program. For students, and we have a couple of departments, we have one department in particular that checks out 300 to 400 computers, laptops per semester. Students are not covered under the university's property insurance program. So if it's lost, stolen, or damaged, the student is held liable for that damage and needs to reimburse the university for the cost of repair or replacement. Does that help?
Excellent. I'm getting nods.
Okay.
Student workers.
Student employees, as long as they're employed with the university, they're covered under the university's property insurance program.
Okay, so that'd be the distinction. Students, no. Student employees, because they're employees of Boise State, are covered.
Yep, exactly.
Excellent. I love the questions. Any other questions for our experts? Any other questions for your HR amazingness team?
Yeah, who's everybody's favorite HR person? That's what I'd like to know.
Oh, I don't want to know that because I'd be super competitive and my feelers would be super hurt if it wasn't me. No, I'm kidding. Definitely not able. Oh, that's super funny.
Hey, come on, Jordy.
Oh,
Evan, don't jump bandwagon.
Julie, you're so sweet. We could never choose just one. Oh my gosh. You guys have to know that this team is like so goofy and lighthearted. You guys didn't know it, but there's like this running rivalry between Kevin, Abel, and I because I am a huge Harry Potter nerd and they are not. And I'm trying desperately to get them to switch to see my side of things, but they're just not having it. It's pretty fun. Inside peek to the goofiness that happens in your HR department because we have a lot of personality. Okay. Hadley, you got to give me just another second. We're having a very needy kindergarten day. Okay, guys, I think that we've goofed off enough for you, and I want to be able to give you guys the gift of time. I'll stay on the line for a few more minutes, but if you don't have anything else for us, you get 20 minutes back into your Tuesday, Monday. Yes, I will be on the call for a little bit, so just feel free if you have specific questions for me or need me to keep somebody on my team. I'm here for you. Have a great short week.